200 right here. 200 heading north, south of Florence, Oregon. Mile marker 200 on the Oregon coast, right there. Look at how beautiful it is around here. Just stunning. Just amazing. Lane County. Right now we're in Douglas County. We're about to hit Lane County right here. Using Lane County, Oregon now, boy. We got a whole different set of rules. So I've been sitting here about 4 hours. And I haven't seen anybody except a chipmunk and 3 crows. I thought I saw a slug, but he went by so fast I couldn't tell. It was either a slug or a snail, and you know how fast those snails will go. That guy just started honking at me to get out of his way. Huh. There you go. There's one, like they used to say, there's one in every bunch. Comes up behind you 75 miles an hour, tailgating, honking for you to move. But he won't pass in a passing lane. He won't go around you. So I just pull over and let him do what he's gonna do, I guess. I'm not in charge of what he does. Well, the whole world is full of that now. The whole world is full of people with all kinds of stress and anxiety because they caused it for themselves, and they push it on other people. But they don't push it on me, no. don't even allow myself to stress myself out. I'm surely not going to allow someone else's stress to stress me out. No. Now look, he's already about a whole mile ahead of me. And he's tailgating the truck in front of him up there. Wow. Here's someone passing a car. In the other lane, they were passing that car just like the guy who passed me. It just shows how unhappy in life you are. And I'm telling you, about 50% of people today go through life so fast, breakneck speeds. Yeah, there's that person up there tailgating a slower truck in front of them, an old truck. Man, oh man, oh man. We're probably going to the same grocery store or the same gas station, and we'll probably both get there at the exact same time. So who's enjoying life more? Don't even think about me. Who's enjoying life more? The person who's going slower and looking around, talking to their family, enjoying being safer, driving safer, going slower, spending their money more wisely, having more enjoyment out of each day. Or the guy who's, tailgating down in like Los Angeles, 87 miles an hour right now, getting pulled over by, some motorcycle highway patrolman, getting a $300 ticket, going through his whole life like that for 10 years, 15 years. It's crazy. The hospital, go ask a doctor. 50% of the people coming into the hospital are for stomach problems. You can go ask any doctor. Stomach problems and stress. I was talking to this therapist lady. No, she wasn't my therapist. Anyways, somehow last year I was talking to some lady, and she said she was a stress reduction therapist at a hospital. I said, really? I said, I suppose there's a lot of stress. She says, I said, for patients? She says, no, I do patients, the people that come in, and the employees. The employees can come in and talk to me anytime, and I talk with them and go over ways they can reduce their stress in life. And then she told me, now she'd been doing it for at least 20 years. And she was good at it. She was reducing my stress just talking to her. I mean, she was very calm. She spoke very calm and relaxed. And she said about 50% of everyone who goes to the hospital is there for extreme stress or stomach digestive problems. You're not digesting your food properly because nobody has enough fiber, you don't have enough water. I asked her, I said, do you think stress causes chronic diseases? I said, I believe that's what it causes. And I told her I was a Christian, and in the Bible it kind of alludes You know, anger, it says anger can make your bones actually decay. And she smiled at me and said, yes, that's 100% what she believed. She said, most healthy people have almost no stress. She said, whenever stress comes into someone's life, that's when they start getting sick. We saw that during the coronavirus. They told us everyone's got to wear a mask. You're all going to lose your jobs. You're going to be forced by law to stay in your house. And you're going to start losing everything. And you're all going to die. I mean, that's what the news media said, all of those things for 3 years straight. And about a third of the government was saying the exact same thing. It was like watching, 9/11, the Twin Towers get attacked all over again every week for 3 years straight. Because now I handle stress extremely well, but everywhere I went, I mean, I'd stand in line at a store. A lady older than me turns around, puts her hand up and says, "Sir, you need to be 6 foot away from me like the government says." I said, "Oh, I apologize." And I looked, I was about 5 foot away from her. I took a step back. I said, "How is that?" She goes, "Well, follow the rules, sir." I said, "Yes, ma'am." Never argued with her. I realized she was in such a stressful mood that she was about ready to break in two. She really believed that if I was within 6 foot of her, that I could kill her. The only thing I would kill her with is kindness. Kill him with kindness. Or maybe some corny jokes. So we moved forward in the line. It was her turn to pay, get her groceries. And she turned around to make sure I was still 6 foot behind her, which was funny because when she moved forward, I did not move forward. I refused. I said, "No, I'll just wait until she's gone." She wasn't a bad person. She fully believed that she was going to die and lose everything. Like about 30% of Americans believed that during the coronavirus for 4 years. We have young people out here still wearing masks everywhere they go. And my wife said, "How come they're still wearing a mask?" I said, "Because during the coronavirus, they were 14 years old. And they were trained mentally that if you don't wear a mask every winter from now on, you could die. So now that they're 19 years old, they were trained as a child, a teenager, that every time flu season comes, they have a chance of dying now for the rest of their life." I said, "Those people, they will wear a mask every winter for the rest of their life. You can't change it." That's why Stalin and people like Adolf Hitler, he got a hold of the children. He got a hold of the children. Here's someone protesting, saying Antifa is good. One person all by herself telling people, you're all gonna, you're all racist, Donald Trump's a bigot, you're all gonna die. Everything's falling apart. I mean, you have to really, really be completely stressed out and stuff to go out Oh no, she doesn't have an Antifa file. She has an Epstein file. She's holding a sign saying, release the Epstein files. Now that's out there, boy. She wants all the Epstein files to be released. I'm telling you, that's a lot of stress, people. To wake up as a 55-year-old woman and you're only concerned about the Epstein files? But that's what I'm saying. There's really no difference between her or the people who think they're going to die or the guy who was tailgating me. It all has a common denominator. Well, you know, and the Republicans are the same way. I'll say that right now. There's no rhyme or reason to what anyone's doing. Like right now, the government is arguing, the Democrats are arguing, they shut down the government. We want better health care. And Donald Trump allowed the government to get shut down. It says, no, we're not going to give you better health care. And let me tell you, who doesn't want better health care and cheaper health care? Everybody on the planet wants better health care. And Donald Trump says, we're not going to pay for better health care. You know, if you were to ask me a question, and don't tell me whether it's Democrat or Republican, don't tell me, do not let me know. Do you want better health care and cheaper health care? Better hospitals and better experiences with your health care as an American? 99% of people would say, yes, I do. Why, thank you. Yes, I would love to have better health care. So if you stop and think about it, the people in America are so stressed out. Like Joe Biden, he didn't want to close the border. He wanted to bring in up to 25 million illegal immigrants. Donald Trump doesn't want to fix the health care. He wants to bankrupt the whole system and start over. So how are we ever going to go forward in this country with people running the country like that? You know, you take I got the solution, but you take a Democrat and then you take a Republican and you take a small watermelon You cut the watermelon in half, you give the Democrat half and you give the Republican half, and the problem is solved. But that's not how it ever works, is it? It doesn't work that way. And then our country, you know, I'm going to end right here. Every great society throughout history collapsed and crumbled from within, not from without. It wasn't someone attacking them on the outside. Usually the people on the inside destroyed each other. It's usually the people on the inside destroying each other. Instead of recognizing who the enemy is outside of your country, and we have plenty of enemies, we start thinking that we're the enemy. Each other is the enemy. Your brother is the enemy. And when you start saying your brother is the enemy, your sister is the enemy, your father, your mother are the enemies, and I will say this and then I'll end the video. There's a lot of money to be made in division. Follow the money. Who's getting paid? The news media is getting billions of dollars. The politicians are making billions of dollars. The military is making hundreds of billions of dollars. The corporations have made the highest profits in the history of America in the last 6 years. The corporations are making hundreds and well, actually, all combined, they make trillions of dollars a year now, all combined, while paying the average employee $20 an hour. Do you know that 65% of Americans make less than $25 an hour? So just look who's making the money. And I'm a Christian, but I'll say it, the churches are making billions of dollars in the United States. All combined, tens of thousands of churches in America, every Sunday, every year, take in billions of dollars. You probably didn't think I'd point that one out. the churches are not united today. They are divided more than ever. I mean, you can just have one religion with like 6 different factions, fractions in the one church. Like you take Lutheran. There's probably 30 or 40 different, lines and sections and push-outs of different types of Lutherans. That's just one example. You got Methodist, Baptist, Northern Baptist, Southern Baptist, Catholics. You got every kind of Catholic. There's a church in California. You can look it up. It's a nudist camp church. Oh man, it just makes me laugh. People go to that church, they're naked. And they say it frees them, makes them more free and close. It brings them closer to God to be naked. It's in California somewhere. I've heard about it. I've never really investigated it. I mean, I'm never going to go visit. I'd be the only person in there with clothes on and, really dark sunglasses, so I couldn't see too much. So it doesn't matter where you go, all of this stuff is causing great amounts of stress in America. We're the only country in the world experiencing this because China doesn't care what happens to its people. Russia doesn't care what happens to its people. The Far East, like Indonesia, the Philippines, all that, their economies aren't big enough to, those people are in survival mode, 80% of them. Anything south of Texas, Mexico, all the way down is in a survival mode. You wonder why someone comes to America from Mexico down on south. Why do people come to America? Now, I talk to Mexicans. I've had Mexicans live next door to me. They say, exact same job in Mexico is $4 an hour. So they come to America and they work really hard and make like $1,000 a week. In Mexico, you make $200 a week, 50 hours a week. In America, you work 50, 60 hours a week. You make 5 times as much, $1,000 a week. They live up here on like $1,500 a month because they live with other people in the same 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. It's really cheap. They don't have any bills. They got like 1 car amongst all of them. Some of the nicest people I've ever met are Mexicans. And I'm just watching the traffic here. And so they send like 500. I knew a guy, he sends $500 a week back home to his wife and kids. I said, wow, your wife must really, she must be living high in the hog down there, buddy. This guy I knew, this Mexican guy, a friend of mine, he says, no. He says 2 things. We keep it all secret. People don't even know that I'm sending her the money. He said, and she puts it in a secured bank savings account down there. He said, and whenever I go back to Mexico, now he had work papers to be here for 3 years. And then he extended them for another 3 years, 6 years. Like he took a month off. He wasn't here illegally. He had work papers. So he takes a month off, and then he goes down, sees his family, and then he comes back for another 3 years. All legal, 100% legal. He flies into the country first class. He's got a ton of money. And she's down there living on like $100 a week. But he's sending her like $2,000 a month. And he says that's his retirement for the rest of his life. He said a lot of people do that. Now, I'm not going to tell you what he did for a living, but he had a job that I've never seen an American white person want that job. Like, his job was all Mexicans because the job was so hard. His job was so hard. I know I've never seen a white guy that would even do the job. So yeah. So as Americans, we're all sitting around. I think this guy wants to race me. I think he's challenging me to a race. Oh, he looked at me. Oh, yeah, he wants to race. Are you trying to race me, sir?
You'll need one day, buddy.
Have a good one. He was smiling. That guy was smiling. Those electric scooters are amazing today. They really are. Look, they're taking a roof off that house on a Saturday. That's just a local roofing company, but a lot of fishing going on around here. Well, anyways, we Americans, we're all arguing about what color we are, how much money we make, whether we're Democrat or Republican. Who's got the most money? We argue about the interest rate on our $400,000 house loan. We worry about things like getting $2,500 off our electric car for $65,000. Look at all these fishermen. You see, as Americans, we're all worried about the wrong thing. Should I spend $35,000 to put solar on my house so I can save $50 a month on electricity? You spend $50 a month on coffee in 1 week. That guy had a big salmon back there. You spend $50 a week on coffee. What am I saying? And you want to put $35,000 worth of solar on your roof to save $50 a month on your electricity. Well, now you got an electric car that cost $60,000. That was after your rebate, your government rebate, which they all just went away. And you say, well, I don't ever have to buy gasoline. Well, those days are over now, because all the states are gonna, Oregon is gonna start charging all electric car drivers now several $100s a year to own an electric car, depending on how many miles you drive. And you're gonna have to register your car on your taxes every year now in the state of Oregon. And every other state is gonna do it, because every state is out of money. And if they can get, you know, $60 million in taxes from you, if they get $60 million in taxes from people, they'll take it. You might not be spending $300 a month for gas, but now you own an electric car. And Elon Musk promised you that by the next time you need a battery for your electric car, they'll only be about $1,000 each now. Have you priced a new battery for your electric car? They're $12,000 average. You see, that's what I'm saying. I'm just making points here. We're all completely stressed out. That lady wouldn't go. We're all completely stressed out. Well, most people. You're always going to the doctor. Do you know Americans now owe $1.8 trillion in automobile loans? Americans now owe, O-W-E, $1.8 trillion in automobile loans. Wow. That's crazy. It's a lot of money. So, you know, I made this long video and I put it up, and, you know, it'll probably get like 10 people watch it and only 3 people will listen to what it's actually saying. Stress is number 1, it's killing you. Number 2 is your digestive system isn't working properly anymore because of the food, the junk food you're eating. Your digestive foods are not working properly. Your stomach was not designed to digest all the junk in the grocery store shelves today. Your stomach is not meant to do that, I'm telling you. That's not how God designed your body, to digest all these fats and sugars and chemicals and fake food. A lot of the food is actually fake. You can look it up. I can't remember what, there's several foods. Go look up which foods do they put sawdust in. Legally put sawdust in these foods. Which foods contain sawdust? 100% legal. You think I'm eating sawdust? Some foods have like a small amount of sawdust in them. It's like eating cement for your intestines. Sawdust, sugar, fats, heavy meats. Stress is killing America. Now, I don't think we're ever going to go back. I don't think it's going to get better.